What's going on, guys? Welcome back. We're gonna be talking some more MLB today. Good friend JT Realmuto on a trade block. It looks like he's on a trade block, at least the way they're asking. With the asking price, he might not be on the trade block, but it looks like the Marlins are looking to move Realmuto. A lot of potential suitors. We've seen the Mets just come off the table. They went out there and got Ramos, a pretty big suitor, off the table. Still got the Reds, still got the Rays, the Dodgers, the Padres, and now the Brewers coming on. And what we're going to discuss today is the question is, are they asking for too much for JT Realmuto? We talked about Realmuto, and like I said, the Mets were a big contender. The Braves backed out as well, it sounded like. The Mets were a big contender. It's like, you're asking too much. We're not willing to give up this good of a prospect when we can go out there and sign a guy like Wilson Ramos, a guy that's batting .270 on his career as well. Granted, he's not as young as Realmuto. I know someone would go out there and say JT is the best catcher in the league right now, and it is very arguable. At the same time, he's, again, a .280 career hitter. I hate to just throw batting average out there as a stat and everything, but just to think, like, I always imagine most teams' catchers, you know, they're batting 8th in the order, they're batting .230, .250 range, and it's like, that's what the catchers do. But is it worth throwing out some of your top prospects, these top prospects that the Marlins are asking for, that could potentially be that next MVP franchise type player for you? Because that's almost what it feels like they're swinging for some of these teams. If you go out there and say, well, I'm giving up a 300 hitter for a 280 catcher, maybe you like it because you got the best catcher in the league. But I've always been a guy that personally, and this is crazy to say as a Reds fan, is I would rather take a guy like Yadier Molina and give up good prospects for him over JT Realmuto, because Molina's going to go out there and he makes your pitchers better. You cannot stress that enough, and you do not get that out of very many catchers at all these days. Is Molina's top tier elite when it comes to getting your pitchers pitching well. As crazy as that sounds, and you've heard of it before, you're like, oh, this battery combo, he pitches a lot better with this guy behind the plate than this guy. That's because pitchers, I guess I can't explain it, I'm not a catcher, but catchers can make your pitchers better. They're more comfortable pitching with you. And I'd rather give up a whole lot of prospects for a guy that's going to help my team in more than one area. I don't know. I feel like giving up that much for JT's a little expensive, especially when you look at like Grandal's not getting signed, but you look at Wilson Ramos. That's not a bad catcher to sign. That's a solid sign. And would you rather sign him for what they was it $8 million a year? I think he got half of what was it Grandal turned down for a couple years. I'd much rather have that than give up a top prospect. When you have that option, you let the Mets walk out the door, you let the Braves walk out the door, your suitors go down. Eventually, like I said, I can't imagine the Dodgers giving up a lot for him. Just for the pure fact the Dodgers got some good prospect catchers out there coming up here in a couple years. They really just need a bridge deal. For them to give up a lot of prospects, I'd be surprised as well just for a couple years. But if they could do it, maybe they can just keep trying Grandal. If they get Grandal, that's another big team that's out of the mix. And let me be perfectly clear, I don't want to get any confusion in here when I'm saying, I'd rather take the Molina or this guy or that guy who can give some prospects. What I'm referring to is I'd rather, because those guys would be cheaper. Just like looking at the Grandal or the Ramos situation. He's not JT Realmuto. Let's not try to pretend he is. But would you rather grab a guy like Ramos, keep your top prospects, hope they can turn out to be a stud for your team, or would you rather get rid of that top prospect, grab Realmuto, and instead of getting possibly a 2-for-1, you're just getting to one player? Again, you're always taking chances on their prospects. That's kind of my point there with the whole take some sort of Molina or some sort of Grandal. I didn't mean to try to degrade JT by any means at all. Like I said, he's a solid catcher. The longer the Marlins wait, I just feel like they're hurting themselves. That was the perfect time over there. Winter meetings, everybody was interested. That was when the asking price is going to be its highest, because every team wants him. The more teams that walk away, the more you're like, oh, let me call these guys back. I think I'll take your trade offer now. It's like, we're not interested no more, pal. I think that's a little bit too steep for us. And all of a sudden, then you're stuck back doing the classic Miami Marlins where you sign a player in the offseason and you trade him at the deadline and get nothing back for him. Or you trade away an MVP. Some teams trade MVPs away. I'm calling names out on that one. I don't know, that's my opinion. Now, what are you guys thinking about JT Realmuto? Like I said, I think he's great. Don't take me the wrong way. I think he's an outstanding catcher. Some teams might value the catcher better. Let me know what you guys are thinking. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.